Hi everyone, and welcome to episode. Oh, I didn't bring my notes. Ay, 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 ay. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 45 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and where I get into all kinds of other crafty shenanigans. Today is Saturday, December 26th, and 2020, so our last Saturday of 2020, possibly my last podcast for 2020, although I'm thinking I might do a New Year's Eve special where I show you everything, all my finished projects for 2020. I'm thinking I am going to do that next week. It's an overcast, cloudy, cold day today. The hubby and I went out for a coffee earlier today. It was cold. We've been spoiled so far this winter. It was cold. So I'm sipping a cup of tea. And this is one of my Christmas presents from the hubby. It is Holiday Blend Spiced Black Tea Blend. It contains black tea leaves, orange peel, cinnamon chips, and flavoring. And it's really quite good. This is a slight citrusy flavor to it, a slight cinnamony flavor to it, but it's really nice. Really, really nice. I think I'm definitely going to be enjoying that tea. What else is new? We'll talk about a few other new things probably towards the end of the episode. But first off, look. It's done. Slipstravaganza is done. I got the bind off finished, all 950 stitches into an I-cord bind off. Took forever, but I absolutely love the way it looks. I gave it a nice soak. I let it soak for a while, a little bit of soap with it, did a few washes on it because I used Whole Super Soft for the shawl, and Whole Super Soft has the spinning oil still on it, so it took a few rounds through a tub of water to get it all done. Then I blocked it out. I didn't block it too aggressively, just enough so that I got the points showing nicely on the chevron border. I did the larger version of this, so there are 2 repeats or six rows of the chevron, light, medium, and dark, done twice. If I didn't mention, this is Slipstravaganza by Stephen West. It was a mystery shawl knit along earlier this autumn. It started in October, I think the 9th of October this year. I just finished it a few days ago. I think I finished it on Monday or Tuesday this week. It took me several days to do this I-cord bind off, but I love it. Let's take it off and let you have a better look at it. There was the first section here, which has all of these really pretty honeycomb type designs. There are these big holes. I was kind of scared what was going to happen with those, but they turned out okay. They're just little decorative features. Then we have this portion here, which is just a nice little slip stitch pattern. Then this portion here, with the slip stitches and more of a kind of honeycomb sort of pattern. Then this portion here, which was again slip stitch design. Then we did these little triangle pieces, and then the chevron with slip stitches, and bind it off using an I-cord bind off. So I got it soaked, got it blocked, got it off the blocking mats on Christmas morning. So I had to get it off before supper on Christmas Day, even though it was just the two of us home alone for Christmas this year. I had to get it off the dining room table so that we had some place to eat supper on Christmas night, Christmas Day evening. And I love it. It's nice and big. I'm getting tangled up trying to get this back on, but yeah, I love it. I really enjoyed the knit. It did take me quite a while to get it finished, just because of the sheer number of stitches by the time you're getting towards the end. Each row towards the end was, on these chevrons, were over 900 stitches. So it took me quite a long time to finish it, but it was worth it because I have to trim the tails. There are all the tails, every single tail is tucked in. I just, when I do the blocking, I like to leave the tails a little bit longer so that when I block it, if I stretch it, there's still a little extra in case it stretches and it doesn't, the tucked in tail doesn't pop out. So I do need to go back in and snip all the little ends and get them snipped nice and close so that I don't have all these little stray little whiskers sticking out all over the place. But I love it. I absolutely love it. So as I mentioned, I used whole super soft for this. I used 4 colors. There was one main color, which was called pineapple. Then the 3 contrasting colors are this light, medium, and dark pink color. So the first one is Sugar Snap. The second one is Geranium. And the darkest one is Carmine. Or is it Carmine and Geranium? I can't remember. I used 3.25 millimeter needle, or US size 3. And I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm so happy it's done. I'm so happy it's done. And I'm so happy that I'm really happy that I love the pattern. I loved knitting it. I enjoyed working with the whole super soft. I'm definitely going to be making more things with that yarn. It's not expensive, and I love the way it works up, and it's nice and warm. It's a woolly wool, and I really like it. It does soften up and fill out nicely once it's blocked. And like I say, I'm really happy with this. I love it. I love it. And I'm glad it's done. I really am glad it's all done. So that's one of my finished objects for the week. And I think I'm going to take this off for the rest of the podcast, and I'll just wear this plain black, navy, blackish t-shirt for the rest of the podcast. The other finished object I have is my little Advent scarf placemat. I had showed you this last week and talked about it at a little bit more length last week. This is a pattern by Trisha Weatherston over in the Sock Madness group on Ravelry. And I just wasn't feeling the love for this pattern. So what I decided to do is just call it a day and just be done. So what I did, since I showed you last week, is I took out a small crochet hook. I think it was a 3mm, 3.5mm. It was a small crochet hook. And I took Knit Pick Stroll fingering weight yarn in black, and I just did a single crochet 3 rounds all the way around, just to kind of finish off the border. It's still got some little wonky bits, as you can see here. It's kind of, as not a very square edge. I don't care. I'm not that fussed about it. It's got a little wonky little doink over here. It's not even. I'm not fussed about it. I am going to put it on top of a cabinet that I have, or a little small chest of drawers. And on top of that I have 3 crystal candle holders. These big ones that they hold the pillar candles. And I noticed when I was walking through the room that they'd rattle a bit. And the top surface on that little cabinet is not the highest quality material, and it's not perfectly smooth and level. So I found that putting this on top and then putting the candle holders on top of this, it stopped the little rattle when I wandered through the room. So I will get that back. I'll put this back on there. I will take a picture of what it looks like on there, and I will insert a picture either here, or I'll just do a picture all the way across here and let you take a look at what it looks like where it's going to live. So that's my second finished object this week. And the other thing that I worked on, once I finished Slipstravaganza and got the last of the stitching done on that, I pulled out my scrap wrap and I got back to work on that. And I made some really good progress on it, relatively speaking. When I picked it up again, I hadn't worked on it since sometime towards the end of October. I had put it aside, hadn't really done anything with it for some time. So it was being neglected, and now it is, if you can believe this, my one and only one work in progress. That's it. That's all I have right now. One work in progress. I'm so far resisting the temptation to cast on something new. I have plans for a few things coming into the new year, and I think what I will do is I will talk to you about those in either another episode, or it might be a bonus episode that I do early in the new year and talk about the projects and things that I want to work on in 2021. I think I might do a separate episode. I might have it as part of my episode next week. Stay tuned, we'll find out. So I picked that up and I did a quick count, and when I started on it earlier this week, I counted and I found I needed 25 more little mitered squares to finish this little scrap wrap. I managed to add 10 squares on this week. So I'm really hoping that between today, once I'm done filming and editing, I'm hoping that between now and the end of the day on December 31st, I'm hoping to have this blanket done, 100% done. I have 15 squares now left to do. And if I really push, I will be able to get those 15 done over the next, 5 days? We've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, 5 days. So over the next 5 days, if I average 3 a day, it'll be done. But what I do want to do is do an applied I-cord border all the way around. I think I want to do it in black. I was considering doing the crochet border on it, but I really think I want to do an applied I-cord border on this. I think it'll pull it together beautifully and finish it off really nicely. So that is the plan. Now, whether I can manage to get the last 15 squares added and complete the I-cord bind off before the 31st is done, I would be thrilled to bits. Chances are I should be able to get it done before I film next Saturday on the 2nd. Hopefully, that gives me one more day, one more full day to work on it. But I really want to get this done this year. I would love more than anything to finish off the year with 0 works in progress. And then I can start 2021 fresh. Start new projects, brand new, on the 1st of January. Or sooner if this is finished. So here's where we're at right now. So all these little orange stitch markers, these are all the squares I've added in the last week. So this guy, these two, I just finished him early afternoon. This one, and this one, the green and purple, the stripy and the pink. So I've added 10 more squares. I have a few ends to tuck in, but not a whole lot. There's a few just in these little valleys in between. I think I will do that after I'm done filming. I'm going to go in and tuck in these little tails in between in here. So I have a system I like doing them. I will take the 2 in here. I will take, for example, for this one, I will take the green and take it down this seam and then across here a bit. And then the gray for here. So the second thread, I will go down this side. So for the green, I will go down here. For the gray, I will go down here. And then they'll be done. So I do that in each of these little, when I get into these little valleys. I think that's partly why I've got into the rhythm of doing them on the diagonal. Most people do them in straight lines. I go on the diagonal. Just do it a little bit differently, why not? So I have a few little tails to tuck in. Actually, I think I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 tails to tuck in, plus the ones that are on the point will get tucked in once I've added the next square beside it. So once I've created the next little valley. So that is coming along really nicely. Like I say, 15 squares left to add. And it's done, then an I-cord border all the way around. So the I-cord border might take a little while to do, but it's so close. I started this project back in 2014. It is way, way overdue for finishing. Way overdue for finishing. So we have 2 finished objects this week and my one last work in progress right now. This past week, I also dyed some yarn. I still am considering casting on for a new knit along that Stephen West is doing. It is the Hybrid Knit Along 2020, and he released just today released 2 patterns, so you can choose one. When you bought the ebook, you got 3 patterns. One was a bonus, and then there was a triangular shawl and a crescent shaped shawl, and they both were written and designed for using 4 skeins of yarn, fingering weight yarn, 1 main color, 3 contrasting colors. So I dyed some yarn for that over the last couple days, and these are the ones I dyed. And I was thinking of using maybe the blue, teal, and green with this kind of purpley gray, as these 3 as the contrast colors and this one as the main color. And I still kind of really like that combination. But when I looked at the 2 patterns this morning, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to cast on either of the shawls. To me, they're both very reminiscent of slipstravaganza. They're different, but there's enough features in either one that I'm not 100% excited to cast on. I was afraid that I was going to not be able to resist casting on this morning when I saw the patterns, but I think I might be able to resist. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So the crescent shape one, or the semicircle, is called Winter Lights Shawl, and it has some of the honeycomb features that are a little bit reminiscent. They're not the same, but here, let me get Slipstravaganza back out here. They are, part of the pattern is a little, oops, that's upside down now, is a little bit like a combination of this portion here and a little bit like this portion. It's not the same, but to me the reminder is quite strong. That there's enough features on that shawl, the half moon shawl, or the crescent, that reminds me a lot of some of the details on Slipstravaganza. Then the triangular shaped shawl is called Woven Chevrons, and it's a really pretty shawl, but it reminds me an awful lot of this part. Doesn't go to 950 stitches, but it reminds me a lot of this part of Slipstravaganza. Now, both of them are gorgeous looking shawls. I really do like the look of the shawls, but after spending oodles and oodles of hours working on Slipstravaganza, if I'm going to do another shawl pattern, I want something that's going to be, even if it is three or four colors, a main color and 3 contrasting colors, I want it to be different enough from the last shawl that I made before I want to cast on. So I'm kind of thinking, I bought the ebook several weeks ago now, and I think I'm just going to keep the patterns in my library and perhaps cast them on one or the other or both of them at a point later, somewhere in the future. It's just not, neither one of the shawl patterns has grabbed me so much that I have I have the feeling that I have to cast it on right now. Part of it is that I want to finish my scrap wrap. And part of it is that both the half circle and the triangular shawl have some details that remind me a lot of some of the details on Slipstravaganza. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off on casting on those until later. Maybe I won't cast them on at all, period. I'm still out. The jury is still out on what I'm going to do. There's other patterns of his that I like. I might look through and see if I can find another one of his patterns that incorporates four colors of fingering weight yarn and do that. Or that have 4 colors plus a neutral, and then I can use just an undyed skein with these 4 that I dyed. Or worst case scenario, I've got some gorgeous tonal yarn for socks. Can't go wrong there. Absolutely can't go wrong there. Sock Madness will be coming up in March. I'm probably going to want to have some semi-solid tonal yarn for that. So I've got, now it's already dyed and ready to go, along with more yarn here. Maybe I'll combine some of those with some of the yarns here and do something else. I don't know. But I really do have this itch to get all my whips done in 2020. I really, really am itching to start 2021 with a clean slate, with whips. Start fresh, start from scratch. I have 3 definite projects in mind to cast on once we get to 2021. I will talk to you about those a lot more either next week or in a bonus video where I'll talk about what knitting is in my future. We'll see. But for now, that about sums it up. I'm down to 1 whip. It boggles my mind. It honestly boggles my mind. I cannot think of when I last had only 1 project on the go. It's been so long. We're talking 10, 20 years since I've only had 1 I don't know if I ever had only 1. No, seriously. I don't know if I've ever only had 1 whip on the go at one point in time. There's been lots of times where I've had 1 project that I only worked on 1 project. Everything else was ignored and pushed aside. But I think this is the first time in very recent memory that I've only had 1 whip. It's a strange feeling, guys. And I kind of like it. I actually really do enjoy I'm finding that I think I enjoy having fewer projects. And I think that might be how I'm going to do things once we get into the new year. Don't hold me to that though, okay? Because it might not happen. It might not work out that way. It might be the best laid plans kind of thing, but we shall see. So that's it for my knitting content and fiber content for today. I hope you had a really nice holiday. Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you are celebrating, or if you're not celebrating any holiday, you're just enjoying the winter festive season, whatever the case may be. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you're Let me try that again. I hope you're able to spend some time with your family somehow. I know I was not able to go home to visit family for Christmas this year, so it's the first time in a while that I haven't been able to go home and spend Christmas with my mom. And I missed it. I really would have. We talked on Zoom both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And yeah, I did miss being able to spend time with my mom and my sister for Christmas. But it was just that my husband and I spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day together. We had a nice, just quiet time. On Christmas Eve, we had the Christmas Eve church service. My husband's a pastor, for those of you that don't know what our details are. He's a pastor, so we had church service, and he did the church service on Thursday night, candlelight service. And on Christmas Day, we slept in. We just kind of lounged around. We ate. We vegged out. We ate some more. I did a lot of knitting. And we just had a nice, relaxing day. We spent a little bit of time. We opened up gifts from each other. We had set a dollar limit on how much we would spend on each other. So we each went and did, the majority of our shopping we did just right locally downtown, small businesses. I don't think either of us bought anything for each other from big box stores. It was all from the little stores, the small businesses right in our downtown area. And we like doing that. In general, we do spend the majority of our Christmas gifts that we buy for each other, we buy from local small businesses. I ordered one item from Poshmark for him, and that only arrived today. So that was a day late. And otherwise, like I say, he got me several kinds of tea. I actually had 4 different kinds. I'm a major tea drinker. But he got me 4 different kinds of tea. I've sampled 2 of them. The first 2 I've tried have been really nice. There's still some more to go. We got each other some treats and candies and goodies like that. Some chocolate covered almonds, a bag of chips. That was kind of a gag gift. He got me some lip balm. These earrings, they're just the cutest little things. I hope you can see them. Cute little owls. They're adorable. What else? He bought a puzzle for us to work on, like a jigsaw puzzle. So we spent a fair bit of time last night working on that. We've spent a bit of time on it earlier this morning. And the plan is tonight to work on it some more. So we had a really nice quiet holiday. Today is much the same. We slept in. Well, I slept till 8, but anyway. We slept in a bit. My hubby slept in quite a bit longer. We wandered down to our local coffee shop and I got what was it called? It's called White Christmas. It's a white hot chocolate with mint, with candy cane sprinkles and candy cane flavoring. So I had quite the sugar rush from that. Then we are snacking on things this afternoon. We're just going to do snacking for supper. We had bought some garlic, like a garlic coil that we sliced up. We've got crackers and cheese. We've got a few different kinds we've got carrots, broccoli, and zucchini, and made some dip. We ate the almonds already. So we just have a bunch of snacky things that's going to be supper tonight. We're just going to have maybe some chips and dip and some veggies with dip and hummus. We have both made some dip and also have hummus. So that's the plan for the rest of today, and then we'll probably watch a movie this evening and spend some time working on our jigsaw puzzle some more and see if we can get a little closer to finishing it tonight. We'll work on it till our eyes doesn't seem to bother his eyes. My eyes start to go a little bit buggy after a while working on jigsaw puzzles. So we'll probably fart around with that. And we'll watch a movie this evening, and I'll keep working on my scrap wrap. And I'm crossing my fingers that it's done. Stay tuned next week and see if it is done. So I think I've done enough rambling now. Yeah, I've done enough rambling now. I'm gonna go and get this editing done. I'll get this video up later on today. Sometime this late afternoon, evening, I'll start uploading it onto YouTube. And stay tuned. I'm hoping to publish a video again on the 31st where I show you all the projects I knit during 2020, all the projects I finished during 2020. So stay tuned and see what's on that. And I'll chat a little bit about each of them. And then we'll see you again next Saturday for the first episode of 2021. Alrighty, enjoy the rest of the year, everyone, and I will see you again soon. Bye.